I'm here today with Brad Boyle. He's the Managing Director for Triton Minerals. How are you today, Brad?
I'm well, thank you.
Triton Minerals has had a lot of news since the new year. How about we start with the update on the Balama project?
Look, since the beginning of the year, as you've noted, we've managed to put an inferred resource on the Cobra Plains prospect and turning that into a 103 million tonne deposit with an average grade of 5.5%, which was pretty exciting for us because that wasn't our primary target. That was just the tail end of where we were primarily looking, and while we were waiting for Nicanda Hill to come online, we tested that ground. So it was a pretty exciting discovery.
Speaking of exciting, Brad, some of our audience members may not appreciate what a significant closeology play your graphite property is. Can you give us an overview?
Okay, our property, we have our main project called Balama North. It's located approximately 3.5 kilometres to the northeast of the Syrah deposit, and that's a world-class deposit. It's 1.1 billion tonnes, so it's leading the way. And one of the main reasons we picked up this project was because of how close it was to that amazing deposit of high-grade flake graphite, and we thought we'd have a look and see if there was any continuation of mineralisation. And luckily enough, it looks like we may have found a very similar style in the type of mineralisation, and hopefully the volumes will start to come up as we progress during the year.
I've noticed that your volumes seem to be increasing, which suggests that you're actually widening your audience. And also, you've done a private placement recently for over $4 million, and usually with a private placement, stock prices, share prices go down. Yours has not. I'd like you to talk to us just a little bit about that, please.
Basically what happened was a couple of weeks ago, some of our key sophisticated investors approached us. They were keen to get us drilling as soon as possible, and so they approached us and said they'd like to put some money in. As a result, we put a small placement together. We called a trading halt, and to our amazement, we had a lot of interest come in when we went into the trading halt. We were oversubscribed by nearly twice what we asked for, and so we had to scale back, which was a very, very pleasing result. And as you've noted, our share price hasn't gone down to the placement price either. And that is also very encouraging because people are believing in the story and understand the huge upside potential.
I think when you look at Syrah Resources' market cap as global leaders, and you're right next door, obviously this is going to help you fast track into production. They've got infrastructure in place. Would love it if you could just talk to us a little bit about the benefits of the infrastructure that's in place right now for you.
Okay, well, where we're located, we're physically located as the crow flies, as I said, about 3.5 kilometres due northeast. However, because of our access into Nicanda Hill, we have a direct access onto the main highway, which is a place called Mapapulu, which takes you into Montepress and then takes you straight through to Pemba. Now, Syrah Resources have to overcome two rivers in between their access and our project. So we can actually drive straight in and out of the project pretty much unimpeded, whereas we don't have to build the infrastructure. The main road is there, and it's a straight drive straight into the port of Pemba.
Considering how much has occurred for Triton since the new year, can you give our shareholders and our interested audience, of course, an update on what benchmarks we might anticipate for 2014?
Okay, this year we had set up a number of benchmarks, and one of those was obviously defining the inferred resource, and we've managed to hit that target well within the timeline that we'd set. The next stage is doing the metallurgical test work, and that is due in the next few weeks, and that'll give us an indication of what the recoverable grades of graphite will be going forward. That's followed closely by a refined scoping study, which we hope to have finished by mid-year. Now, because of that recent placement, we are now going to be starting our drill program on the Nicanda Hill prospect. And you'll note from a recent announcement, the exploration target was originally 500 million to around about 800 million tonnes for Nicanda Hill. Now, we've just expanded the potential of that with the EM geophysical data has managed to identify a major anomaly that expands to the west and to the north, which is very exciting for us because it's showing continuity or potential continuity of graphitic mineralization, because the purple color is an indication of conductivity of electricity. So we're hopeful that if that's a true representation of the potential mineralisation zone, then the numbers could be quite large, very, very substantial indeed. And that's pretty exciting for us moving forward. So the drill program will start in April, so in only a couple of weeks, and then we should be able to have quite a consistent news flow going throughout the year until around about November about the drill results going forward.
You've just said a couple of very exciting things for me, especially considering how hot the graphite market is right now. You specifically mentioned an anomaly in the west. Can you give us a little more details about that particular property?
Well, the anomaly in the west actually is a continuation of Nicanda Hill. It's just an expansion. Now, that also, the recent data also identified the mineralisation extends to the north and slightly to the east. Then there's also a whole new zone called the Nicanda Trend, which is about 8 kilometres long, and it runs parallel to where Nicanda and Cobra Plains are at the moment. And that's still yet to be fully tested and to find out if that's another graphitic mineralisation zone. We don't know yet, but we're very hopeful that it is. And if it's, it's very exciting because it's expanding the true potential of the Balama North project.
Brad, I just want to genuinely thank you for doing this interview with us today. I also just want to mention that I love your trading symbol, TON. I think that might be an excellent indicator for what will happen with Triton in the future.
Thank you very much.